This is Joe Rogan and Neal Brennan talking about what people look like in a president. And get in the chat and let me know what do you look for in a president besides policy? Obviously, policy is the obvious answer, but there's sometimes like intangible things that you look for in a leader. And I'm curious what your thoughts are. Get in the chat and let me know.
Joe Rogan experience.
There's some weird thing about human beings where they gravitate towards a big leader, but towards someone who claims they have the answers and seems very confident. And
right out of the gate, I'm like, I constantly try to say that in this podcast. I know people are like, finding someone that says that they have all the answers, I'm wary of those people, and I don't trust those kind of people. Those are what cult leaders are.
and can speak reasonably well. There's almost like a cheat code where people just like, they get locked into that.
It feels like order. It just feels like order. If you go,
I look for somebody who won't fall to degenerate aristocracy filled. God, me too. I just want somebody to stand up for what if you go in to the election season and you spout about draining the swamp, getting rid of stuff, and you walk in, you don't do that, you're going to get called out on it. Because people want that. That's what people desire. That's what people want. So stick to whatever your message is that gets you elected, you better be that person after that.
somebody says, I know, and they're tall, first of all, if they're tall, that gets you like 60% of the way there.
That helps.
If they're tall and says, I know what we should do, huh?
By the way, I am 7 feet tall.
Good looking.
Charismatic, good looking,
Thank
fit.
you. Thank you.
Attractive to women. Like, it just makes you feel like a daddy's here. Some daddy's here. A different daddy. It's like, oh, all right.
Daddy.
That's what people like about Trump. That's what people like about
Number one issue, love America, true secret, yes.
Obama. Most presidents are some form of that.
Yeah.
What, Reagan,
Yeah.
certainly two-termers. George W. Bush in a weird way. You know what I mean? Like, it's sort of, George W. Bush, guy walked like he had a fucking 2-foot cock. Guy walked like he had to leave room for 2 dicks. That's how wide his gait was. And he said he used to practice it.
He practiced his
George W.
gait.
Bush.
His gait. Wait, did George Bush really walk with that kind of gait? I'm gonna find out. Okay. Here we go. Back it up. To your left. I see it. Messy Mike, you gotta start practicing, dude. You gotta start practicing. That's important. I've never seen you chat, man. I hope you're doing well. Gotta start practicing my third leg, exactly. Dude.
Used to practice his gait.
Really?
You look it up, yeah. He would talk about it in interviews. Like, we're
Can you imagine walking around your house practicing your impressive walk?
Yeah, well, can you imagine anyone more than him doing it? It's like the exact guy that would do that. Like, I'm gonna practice walk. Yeah.
Bush's renewed confidence. This is 2005. Some folks look at me and see a certain swagger, which in Texas is called walking. That's how President Bush described himself during his acceptance speech at last year's Republican National Convention in New York City. But for much of this year, the president seemed to have lost the... Okay. It's just...
Yeah, but I've seen other interviews where he talked about...
about actually practicing his walk.
Yeah.
Well, they were originally from Maine. You know, they're like kind of fake Texans.
Come on, Joe.
Yeah, they were from
No,
Kennebunkport.
I know. They're like, they couldn't be more blue blood.
Yeah.
His dad, George Bush Sr., was head of the CIA.
Yeah, I don't think anybody at this point really thinks Bush is a staunch Republican.
Yeah.
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 Which is weird now. I wonder if that would help him now, politically. I was the head of the CIA.
Didn't hurt him then.
Didn't hurt him, but only one term.
Yeah, but that was because
If you're running as a Democrat, that would absolutely help you. But if you're running as a Republican, I don't think so at this point.
of what's his face?
Overdyed eyebrows.
Perot, yeah.
Yeah, Ross Perot.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what's
Look
going
here.
on.
Fucking guy's great.
That guy, he fucking threw the whole thing out the window. Like when he bought television time, like primetime television time, he was like, I'll just buy the whole hour, and gave the networks money so that
Yep.
he could run his speech and talk about how you're getting fucked by the IRS. People at home were like, what the fuck? It literally was like one of the very first internet speeches.
Who remembers that? Who remembers Ross Perot's live television?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He made himself go viral, and he appealed to people that were not. There's like a whole part of the country that's not spoken to
Yeah.
by, I mean, mass media. You can call it liberal media. I don't even think. I think there's like a level that people just don't want to talk to them. It's like people that aren't especially rich or sophisticated or any of the stuff that people think is great and they want to, that advertisers want to appeal to. They just, and then Ross Perot was like, look here.
Yeah.
And it's like a beacon for people. It's like a siren song when people are like, what? What's that? This guy. And that, by the way,
Gary, I voted for Perot. Are you for real? Neil talks like a male librarian. Yeah.
a billionaire. And it's not about, people think it's about, he didn't seem like a billionaire. That was his, like, that's Trump's appeal too. Like, he doesn't seem
That's awesome that you did
like
that.
a rich guy. Like,
Seems like a regular guy.
that's funny. Like, Dr. Oz lost
How?
because he seemed like a liberal. Fetterman seemed like a conservative.
Do you guys agree with that? Do you feel like Dr. Oz seemed like a liberal and Fetterman seemed like a conservative? I guess you could kind of see that. Not if you listen to the way they talk, no. But if you just purely look at them, I can kind of understand what he means by that. It's like one looks more like a man's man, and then one looks like a dude that enjoys yoga for a workout and puts on lots of lotion every night before he goes to bed. I guess I could kind of see that. Neil seems like he's fighting voices in his head, aren't we all? No. Okay.
Because I think so much of it is just looks. You can speak to this yourself. People are against you because you're fit. There are people that are like, fucking meathead. I'm like, he's not a meathead. Fucking yeah, he is. It's because you
Dr. Oz is a fake Hollywood doctor actor.
just are, people wouldn't believe that you.
Outwardly, yes. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you were just purely look at them outwardly and not listen to them, because like you have to also think that so many people, they don't actually engage in the news. They don't actually watch the debates. They just go on feeling or like a couple of clips. Just like Dr. Drew.
You and I are friends. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
right.
we're like it's like when a turtle hangs out with a fucking python. And the turtle's just riding the top of a python. People go like, how are they? It's like we're unexpected animal friends. So I just think it's so much of it is looks. So much. It's
A
that,
lot of it is, right?
Way more than people would
anybody that saw
admit.
the Fetterman debate would go, "Oh, this guy needs help."
couldn't
He
watch.
shouldn't
I
be-
literally couldn't watch it. I knew like that's gonna. It feels cruel or something.
Yeah, it is cruel. It's cruel to put a guy in a position like that who's recovering from a stroke. You're not supposed to be under that kind of stress.
Yeah, but I think he was trying to say it was cruel because of Dr. Oz's response rather than it being cruel that a man that wants to be in that spotlight to do that. I mean, people were like, I still get comments on like my Fetterman videos of just like, how dare you make fun of somebody that can't talk? And I'm like, I'm not making fun of the actual human. I'm making fun of the way the corporate press And the Democratic Party and other politicians cover for a man that clearly shouldn't be in the position he's in. And if you're not mocking it, they won't listen to you. Sometimes when a liar constantly lies to you, the only way to get a message through is to mock them, because they don't actually care about what you have to say logically or like with deep understanding. They think you're like an insane person for even having an understanding like that.